on TV for you,
No, I'm saying you could be doing that for all the viewers.
all the viewers.
Oh, the viewers.
Might as well get on the table.
All the viewers. I hope Bruce is gonna show up. I think he is. I thought I saw
Someone
his truck
said they just saw him
outside.
outside the parking lot.
I'm sorry?
Somebody just said they saw him outside in the
Well, I thought I
parking
did.
lot.
I thought I saw his truck out there.
Mr. Chair, we are live.
Can you turn that on? Thanks.
Rob, how many do we have to have for a quorum?
5.
Mike, is that yours?
No, that was laying on the table, wasn't it? She's missing too.
Oh, Stacy.
No?
Yeah, that's right.
No, Stacy?
Okay, we'll start. My glasses, very important. Okay, we'll start at 6:32. Today is February 6th. 2:24, we'll get this meeting, so we'll do a call to order. We do the roll call.
In attendance, we have Amy Levisick,
Here?
Gail Ober, Rich McNeil,
Here.
Michael Dellavecchia,
Here.
Charlie St. Clair,
Here.
Scott.
Scott McWilliam,
Here.
Planning Director Rob Mora,
Here.
myself, Recording Secretary Scott Pelchat. Absent this evening,
We have one more.
One more coming, Mr. Cheney.
Oh,
Bruce Cheney.
That's me.
Absent this evening, Louis Joseph, Stacy Susie, Tyler Carmichael.
okay, thank you. Okay. The staff in attendance, you just covered that, so we're good with that. I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
We do have a change, although, if you look at the section 13, the liaison reports,
On the meetings?
on the
On the minutes, I mean?
minutes, it just needs, they need to finish the statement. It's incomplete. Number 13, liaison reports,
Last sentence?
last sentence, just needs to be completed, that's all.
Okay, so you're making a correction to the minutes.
Yes,
Okay, so, again, motion to accept with a correction?
I'll
So
make
moved.
that motion.
Okay, and you're seconding it?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor? Okay,
Mr. Chair, do you want to seat your alternate members?
yes, we'll do that right now. We're gonna seat Scott and, what's your name again? Gail. I don't think we have to vote on that, do we? No, so you guys are.
No, that's a chair call, yeah.
Yeah.
And just done from the chair.
Thank you both for being here. Okay, so we'll go ahead with, I guess we're gonna do number 6, which is,
Oh, for Pete's sake, sorry.
yeah, we have a phone there. Would you like to take that on the air?
I
I'm
would-
kidding, I'm kidding.
My mother-in-law, do you care?
Okay, so this is number 6, it's continued public hearing and consideration. This is for 6.1, and this is PL 2019-0135 CUP, Amendment 1 at 46 Woodville Drive. This is an amendment to the September 1st, 2020 approval to pave the apron of the drive. Do we need to accept this, or are we all good with that?
It's previously been accepted and it was tabled so that it could go to Conservation Commission. It has since been to Conservation Commission.
Okay.
We just need to untable.
Take it off the table. So I'll entertain a motion to take this application off the table.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, by Amy. All in favor? Okay, done deal. So, come on up and introduce yourself. Your
Good evening,
address.
everybody. Richard Holmesy, 84 Summit Ave, Laconia, New Hampshire, partner of 46 Woodville, 46 Woodville Drive, Laconia. My business partner, Brian Iskey, could not be here tonight, so I'm representing. sorry you had to come all out tonight for one thing on the agenda, but
Okay.
it is what it is. I drove up from Mass, so. I wanted to welcome Rob back as chair, and I'm very happy to see him here, and I'm sure he'll do a great job for the city. So welcome, Rob. I'm here to request to pave the apron. The plans that you have before you show we're going in, so the original idea was, at the time, we weren't gonna pave because we don't want it to look commercialized. It's a residential building, residential location. So all we wanna do is pave from the center of our two little decorative retaining walls on the natural berm, from the center of that out to the street to match the apron entrance for the street. I believe at the entrance, it's about 30 some odd feet, 32 feet or something wide. And it goes in, I believe, I don't have my paperwork, but it goes in about 16 feet. And it's approximately 21 feet wide, I believe, towards the inner part of my property. That's it. We just want to pave the apron, and we're not going to dig down. So from the berm, if you drive by the property, ever since prior to me buying it, there was a natural berm in the roadway in front of that property. It's a couple of feet high. So there's always been a driveway at this point. We never moved the driveway. All we're going to do is we're going to leave the little bit of berm there so that our rainwater will go from the driveway in, and from the driveway out, it will just stay out into the street, just a little berm. And that's it. Very simple. It's less than 400 or 500 square feet. It's kind of a weird shape, so it's 32 by 16 by 21. So whatever that math is. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's like 480 or 520, whatever it was. And the application, I don't remember what it says in front of me. Unfortunately, I wasn't at my office where I had the paperwork, so the copies you have are the numbers that we're gonna be paving. And then later on, when we're done with the project, come spring and summer, we will do, what I said we would do with the original plans was have all our rainwater drain naturally into the ground. So we're gonna do permeable pavers, or we're gonna do grass that you drive over with grading, so the grass goes through the grading, so you could drive on it, you don't see it, but yet it's grass. You know, we'll do a bunch of stuff like that, but tonight is just very simple little asphalt berm, asphalt apron. That's it. I'll take any questions you have, and hopefully I can answer them.
Any questions?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go right
Thank
ahead,
you.
Scott.
Mr. Humsey, the application that I'm looking at dated October 27, 23 indicates that you are seeking an amendment to pave the apron on your property there, 16 feet deep, width 38 feet, 21 across the interior, which you just explained.
Okay?
It also indicates that you're seeking an amendment to include a water spigot, is that correct?
We are. So if you want to discuss that now, I'll discuss that now. In the spring, we're gonna be plantings. We're gonna be putting plantings in. The building is for storage of our boat and our cars and our truck and stuff for the property and our real estate. So we want a water spigot so we can wash things, and we can properly, whatever we put in is gonna grow. Grass, we're gonna put trees, we're gonna put, plantings along the berm. I built a guardrail. We'll decorate the guardrail, stuff like that. So we want a water spigot.
Water supply.
We don't want to have a sink, a toilet, a shower, a bathroom, a kitchen. We're just asking for a water spigot. Now, in that section of Laconia, it's Lakes Region Water Company. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm actually going to turn the water on, because it's $1,000 a year. I think it was $1,000 a year. I think it's $1,000 a year to have their water turned on to you, whether you use it or not. Now, if you use it, it's so much per unit. So we're probably not gonna turn it on right away. We're gonna have to really discuss this and see what we're gonna do. But we'd like permission to have a water spigot, right? So,
Oh, you're gonna go ahead and install it then?
so I'd like to. So we've already installed sewer in the building, which I pulled permits for. I pulled a permit for a sewer line because Woodville is approved for $2.3 million sewer system that if the city or if I or whoever gets 2/3 votes, then the city has to install the sewer system, from what I understand, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And then from what I'm told, houses need to hook up by law within 5 years. Okay, so we don't have to dig up our floors and stuff in the building. We pull the sewer permit, and I put a sewer line, so I have a sewer line in the back left corner to the far right front corner. Diagonally across the building, we pulled the permit for sewer permit for I put 2 cleanouts, one inside, one outside, and, to foresee that we might want a bathroom there later, right, or a wash sink or something. But that will probably never happen, but at least it was like $900. It was crazy not to put it in now, so then I'll have to dig up my floor. So that's been approved and put in. So if the city ever goes with sewer, if I want, I could just tie in. But
Well, I
for
would
now,
like to,
water spigot only.
I understand, thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to have it noted, however, the original application under the conditions did indicate that a holding tank or approved septic would be required if water connection is made.
With response to that, I did send Mr. Mora 2 photos today. Because I would only use a spigot, there's no drainage, right? So there's really no need for a holding tank, but I already purchased a holding tank, sent him a photo of it, and I'll be honest with you, it's a 55-gallon plastic drum, sealed. And the second photo I sent him was vinyl lettering that says gray water only. And if you approve it for a water spigot, that sign will be made tomorrow, and it'll go on the tank, which is already here. It's at my house, and that will be delivered this weekend, just to have it in the building. But just so you know, you can't hook up drainage to a tank when you're only using it for spigot. If I was putting a sink in, you want to have drainage, that's gray water, right? But our water is going to be naturally going back into the earth where it came from, if we use it at all, if we do it at all. But
Where's that spigot gonna be located?
they're going to be inside the building only, nothing outside. Even my heating system doesn't need water. The heating system I put in doesn't need water. So we're going to put a spigot on the right side wall as you go in, and the left side wall as you go in, and that's it. But again, they're only going to be used for indoors to rinse things off, and then if we decide to, put in some expensive trees and bushes, we'll have to run the hose out there for a period of weeks or whatever, depending on how much rain we get, et cetera, and stuff like that. But I wanted to put it in the same permit application to meet the board, because it's one fee. If I separate it, it's like another $200, $300, $400, whatever it was. So I put both requests in the same application.
I assume you're going to put drainage in the room where your spigots are?
No, it's a concrete floor. So when you're using water just to wash something down with biodegradable, you don't need drainage. So you just push it outside, it'll go back in the earth. Just like, you're not using acid. You're not going to use. We're not cleaning diesel trucks and stuff that's environmentally unfriendly. You're going to wash your car. Or I want to wash my motorcycle. I want to wash.
You're not using an indoor drain for it? So
No.
it's just gonna go outside?
Yeah, I'll push it outside the door. It'll drain into the ground. It's just water, right? It's not.
It's just water unless you're washing stuff with it.
No, we wash.
You're not gonna be-
Everything's gonna be biodegradable. We have wetlands around us. We're very environmentally knowledgeable, and we're not washing. I'm not pulling 20,
You're
tractor
not washing
trailers.
vehicles, you said. You
Yeah,
are.
no, you might want, if you get something on your car, you might want to rinse it off instead of running through a $20 car wash, right? So I might want to wash the wheels off, get the mud off. Who cares? Like, it's
you would
just
do
mud
that
to go back in the
outside.
dirt.
You would do
Right.
that outside of
I
the
just rinse
hose.
it off, or I can do it in the building, just rinse it out, push it out with a broom. It's not like you're gonna be doing 20,000 gallons a month. It's gonna be, if we go into this building, got a lot, it'll be a surprise. We're just trying to finish it to store our stuff, so. The amount of gallons, like I said, we may not even hook up this water. We'll hook it up, and I'll plumb it in when my plumbers are working there. But to pay them $1,000 to turn it on may not happen. If I don't need to turn it on, and I can water all the plants and the grass I could put in the spring and all that without it, then I won't spend $1,000. That's a lot of money for water for the use of water without the cost of the water. So it's big money. It's more expensive than Laconia Water Company. So we just don't know if we're gonna do it. That's why, like the sewer line, we're not gonna use it probably ever. But for $900, it was the best thing I could do to put it in. So I'm just trying to be proactive. So I'm trying to be proactive with this permit and pay one application and one presentation to the city and kill two birds with one stone, not have to pay it again. That's it. Any other questions?
Rob, I got a question. A gray water system, under state law, that's considered same as a septic, gotta be approved, the design?
So once you connect water of any, whether it's from municipal or private, you need a individual sewage permit from the state,
Right.
which I called and I validated this morning with the reviewer down at NHDES. And that permit would need to come from them, and they would need to review that system, because the city has no permit process or review process for such a system.
So does that permit have to be in place before he can install the water system for the grid?
Yeah, I've already called the state on that, and I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. No one answered, left a voicemail. Yeah, we'll pull the permit, subject, I'm not gonna go spend money with the state. I'm sure there's an application fee. If the denial's here, if you guys approve it, then I'll
Yeah.
go pull a permit, sure.
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, is, which comes first, the permit or
I don't-
our approval of the spigot?
The approval of the permit should have come before the approval of the application. That there should have been an application for a temporary impact to the wetlands when the sewer line and the water line were put in to begin with,
But-
since it was within the 75 or 100-foot buffer of the vernal pool.
Well, with respect to that, I pulled the permit with the city, and the city inspected it and signed off on it, but it's not used. So I think hooking it up is a different story.
I agree that there was probably some oversight. There was probably a miss somewhere in the city when those applications were pulled or permits were pulled, that it should have come before the board before he did that, but that did not happen.
And with all due respect, if I have the board's support tonight, I mean, it's not going anywhere until we pull the state permit. And then you guys are probably gonna come down and inspect it anyway, so, and I gotta pull a plumbing permit for the spigot with my other plumbing permits that I have going now, so,
Am I supposed to push this when I talk or not?
No, if you push
You
it,
don't
it
talk.
mutes it.
Okay.
no, yeah, I can hear you now.
I just don't want to, I don't want us to do something backwards and then
I'm
get
good with
called
that,
on
I
it.
appreciate that.
And that's why I'm looking to the director here to ask him, do we do this, can we do this now if it's approved, or do we need to wait?
You could continue it until there was a permit in place so that the application met the approved site plan requirements that you
With-
have outlined, or you could approve it with the condition that they provided the city with a copy of their DES permit.
Well, that seems like the more logical way to go, but my question then is, that puts the burden on you guys to make sure that that's exactly what happens. That permit is approved by the state, unless one of my colleagues here feels different.
With all,
That's no different when you build a house in Laconia. You apply for a septic permit through DES, they inspect it, and the city comes and looks at that, your approved form.
So that's a conditional.
with all due respect, if I could, I don't wanna make too much out of this.
No,
Well, wait a minute,
nor do we.
Mr. McNeil talks about septic. We're not talking septic here.
Nor is he. He's just,
Well, he is kind of.
comparing it.
The gray water system is considered I believe under DES standards, just like a septic system.
And if
Same-
someone like myself, or someone's gonna have a water spigot only, we have to reasonable people do reasonable things, right? There's no, we're not trying to break the law or change the law or anything like that. All I'm saying is, I've done the application, it's been in for a long time. If,
we're gonna work with you.
no, I get that, I'm
We're
just trying to.
It's
yeah.
okay, you don't have to go there.
Okay.
We're just trying to
Okay.
make it seamless, so to speak.
All right.
So that we can do this conditionally, again, as long as everybody is okay with that. And then it's up to the department to make sure that everything is fulfilled like it's supposed to be.
I'm great with that. All I was gonna say was if you wanna vote on it, and if I get your support, make a stipulation that the state has to be a state approval.
Yeah.
Presented to the city of Laconia Planning before, and the water, the water sewer department for the permit, before I get the that's fine.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to come back again
Well, that's
for a
what we're
spigot.
trying,
That's all I'm
trying to
say.
prevent it, like I
That's all.
said, to make it as seamless as possible.
Yeah.
Counselor Cheney.
What do we do if, for some reason, state doesn't grant him a permit?
That's why I asked the director about that, and that, I guess if it's conditional with that approval, and if they don't get that approval, then I believe they can't do anything.
Correct. I won't put it in.
He can't turn it on if it doesn't get that
But
approval.
But who polices turning it on? Because it's not city water.
Lakes Region Water Company told me I need permission from the city before I can turn it on, is what they told me. Because I don't have sewer in the city sewer or septic.
So the city lets them know, not you. They must check with the city.
Lakes Region Water told me, his name is,
It's okay, but they must check with the city then.
he told me
If they're
without
doing business.
septic, you need to have something written from the city
Right.
to say you can turn this on because you don't have sewer.
I'm gonna keep looking to my
I
director
don't
for
have
this.
the answer to that question.
That's what he told me.
I-
so it
I would-
covers-
I would have to look, I would have to get with the water department to validate that.
No, I do.
Mr. Chairman, there's too many ifs and whatevers, and I think we're putting the cart before the horse. I think he needs to get the permits, the necessary permits, and then come back, and then we can review this and approve it. That would be my position.
Relatively quickly, I would imagine. If this is tabled, well, it's February, you're gonna put this in, I mean,
No, everything's already underground outside.
everything's already done.
No, everything's underground outside,
Yeah,
and they have control of it,
yeah,
and nothing's hooked up inside my building.
okay,
So there's no spigots, there's just empty lines sitting there.
all right.
We're not,
So,
it's-
okay,
it's a
so,
water spigot.
so it's
To
not gonna,
table it is just kinda,
okay, so it's not gonna hold up your progress. The only thing,
No.
if it's tabled, the only thing that'll be held up is you turning the water on.
correct.
Okay.
My plumber's gonna finish doing what he's gonna do.
Right.
But, like I said, Lakes Region Water said I can't put it on until I
Right.
get approval from the city, so,
The director's is gonna back that up with that company, with information from you, and then we're gonna get the permit from the state cleared up, and they should be able to do that within the next meeting date of March?
I can do that.
Mr.
But will
Singh,
the state be
I
able
don't
to
know
do
the
that?
state's turnaround on permits. I think the state is incredibly short-staffed. So
Well,
I don't know if,
what department with the state is that, DES? You
Yeah.
said?
yes.
It's Division of Water.
It's wastewater management.
wastewater management.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Mis-
why can't we vote on it and make it subject to state permit, and then that permit being provided to the Lakes Region Water Company for their approval?
So all you wanna do, you're just trying to get the okay to turn the water on.
If so, but I just explained to you at the beginning, it's $1,000, I may never turn it on.
I
I
understand
just
that,
want the
but-
ability.
Right, that's
Yeah.
that's the only thing so, again, I don't even know why you would need to come back here yourself, because if this was on and correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is on the agenda and everything's been okayed by the state in that point, we can vote on this
Oh, then
with
I
or
wouldn't
without
need to
him
come
being here.
back. Because it is 4 hours for me to go down and back.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
That's on me, but yeah,
that-
if that's what you're gonna do, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's what I'm-
Oh, I thought you meant to come back another night.
No, I don't think he would need to come back if the permits are done, and we have all the information, we've taken a testimony tonight.
I think,
Unless there's a big change, why would we have to have him back?
I think March and April are gonna be 100 miles an hour in this room with all your permits coming up, so.
Yeah,
I think Bruce has got it right on the head, is we're putting the cart
Right,
before the horse. I
right.
think we need to wait till we have the permit in hand.
right, so that's why, but my question is, and I'm asking you as board members,
if you table it,
yeah,
and then he provides us all the documentation,
you'll have it all by then.
I'll have everything, and I can bring that to the meeting, and the board can make their decision.
And I won't have to be present.
You don't have to be present,
Fine.
unless somebody has a question that just would drive you up and out of space, but I don't expect that happening, so,
It's a water spigot.
yeah, no, I
You know,
understand
so
that.
I'm playing this down as
No,
low as it
no.
is, because it is, you know,
Yeah.
so.
But that's the main thing, is,
Okay.
go ahead, Gail.
Charlie, I don't know, I don't really have a question for the applicant, so are we into board discussion yet?
Not
or-
yet, but we will be.
Okay, then I'll hold, but I have some information from the Conservation Commission
Okay, good.
that
'cause
needs to be imparted before
Yeah,
we vote on it, but I have no further questions.
Will I be privy to that conversation?
Yeah, we're
you're
gonna
gonna
do
be
it.
Okay,
sitting right there,
before-
you're gonna be sitting right there in the
Okay,
room.
We're
okay.
gonna be sitting right here.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I just have a procedural question.
Sure.
Would this board need to waive the condition that was part of the original application that a holding tank or septic tank be required? Would that have to be waived?
I think that would be something we could do at the next meeting, and again, that would be,
That would be them meeting their requirement by providing that permit to us.
They would, okay. Thank you.
okay?
Move to table.
Move the table. Well, do you want to,
Well, not to
The
table the
one-
whole thing, right?
The one
What's
thing I
that?
wanted to.
You're not tabling the whole thing, the asphalt, we still haven't talked
Okay,
about that.
the
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to say, Mr. Chair, is,
about the-
and this comes from the Conservation Commission, we heard the applicant, Mr. Holmesy wasn't there, one of his business partners was. The water component has never gone in front of the Conservation Commission, to the best of my knowledge, okay? So this has all happened since the last meeting of the Conservation Commission, which was less than a month ago. Second of all, when we posted this, I don't believe we posted the water component in our posting. I don't know how exhaustive our posting needs to be, but that needs to be considered if we could even act tonight. Thirdly, the Conservation Commission has no problem with the paving of the apron. We discussed it thoroughly with the business partner, Mr. Holmesy. It actually is probably a good idea because the pavement that the city owns is getting kind of chewed up from vehicles going over there. It's
Correct.
got to be addressed, or it just, do you know what I'm saying?
It'll be worse.
It'll be worse. However, there is a vernal pool on or near that particular piece of property. And I would recommend that before we do anything with the water, that out of respect for our Conservation Commission, that this goes back to them. And again, I do question the legality of the posting, because we
Okay, so
didn't post this
I-
first part.
we're going to table it anyway, the water part. So,
Oh, okay.
all right, so my question, at least I think that's what's going to happen. So my question to you is, when is the next time the Conservation
Well,
Committee meets?
It meets tomorrow night. The point is that it hasn't been posted.
When does it meet after that?
Well,
We could meet in 2 weeks. We have the ability to meet every 2 weeks.
Okay, and do you feel, with the knowledge you've gotten tonight from the applicant, that that's something he would have to be there for?
conservation?
With the Conservation Commission, I would say yes. And I hate to do that to you, Richie, because I understand you drove up here. I'm telling you, listen to me, I'm telling you that this was not in front of the Conservation Commission. It involves water, any potential runoff, whether there's a tank, a sewer, or whatever, in a sensitive area near a vernal pool and near Lake Winnipesaukee, which are the only concerns of the Conservation Commission. I am telling you what the Conservation Commission asked me to say, and that is all I have to say about that. We have
If
no
I may,
problem with the
Mr.
apron.
Sinclair?
In fact, we support
Well-
it as recommended. If you want to bifurcate this
Chair?
application and pass that part and table the rest of it, that would be my speaking out of turn, but on behalf of the Conservation
Not
Commission,
out of turn.
that would be the
I
recommendation.
was going to ask you for that information, and give me one
Can I-
second.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, look,
Rob, do you have anything you'd like to add on the staff, from the staff on this before we do anything?
I think that the board needs to make a decision on what they want to do, whether it is in the best interest to table it perhaps until next month so that we can obtain more information
On the water,
on the water.
okay. What about the asphalt? Does the staff have any comment on the asphalt at this point?
The paving of the apron is in the best interest of the city of Laconia.
Okay, so you're good with that?
The city supports the apron paving because the road is being destroyed by the entrance and exit of the vehicles. So that would
Okay.
be in our best interest.
So let's do this separate then. The amendment was for the water, correct?
no,
No,
And the apron.
Mr. Sinclair, can I,
Sure,
originally, the application was filled out for the water spigot
Yeah.
and the apron.
okay.
And I don't know her last name, Kathy, who used to be the
We
chair.
need to separate the water
But
out of
Kathy,
there.
who the chair used to be, what's her last name?
Yeah, so we need to separate that
So,
water.
well, no, what happened was, we came in to sit down and talk with her and go over things, and she blew a gasket on us and
Okay,
gave
but
us.
this is irrelevant.
No, what happened was, it got separated.
Okay, so that's all right.
What I'm telling you is, I didn't bring up the water tonight.
Yeah,
I
but-
came here for the asphalt.
Okay,
The city brought up the water, so I'm entertaining it now, responding to your
right, right,
questions and
right, right.
answers.
So let's forget the water.
Whatever you want to do with the water is
Yeah.
fine with me.
Okay, we're gonna forget the water right now.
Fine.
So,
But I'm
So-
saying I can come back with another application if you want
no,
for
no, no,
water
no, no, no,
only.
no, no, no.
Okay,
You've
okay.
gotta, you're gonna have to
Okay,
concentrate with conservation now, which the director will help you with.
So, the previous planning director did separate the two items out and removed the spigot part from the application, so that this application tonight was only for
correct.
the apron.
Okay,
And that's why it is posted only for the apron.
Correct.
yeah,
I only answered the questions because I was asked. It brought,
right, that's true, and that's, but on here it says water
Yeah,
spigot, so that's why that.
I didn't bring
be
it,
discussed.
with all due respect.
All right, well,
But
all
why
right,
is it
let's,
on here
let's,
if it's
let's,
been broken
let's-
out? How is it on here again?
That was the original
It's
application.
the original application.
This is the original application? And it has since been, okay, thank you.
Right.
Approved.
no,
No.
so, no, no, no.
No, she's
So, okay,
separated.
listen,
No.
attention, attention. Let's do the motion to table on the, has
The
been made.
discussion of the water.
Yeah, there's been, a motion to be tabled that has been made, is there a second? Okay, that's non-debatable, so let's have a vote on that. Yeah,
He started to ask,
oh,
I would ask the board if we could open it to the public hearing, so that,
on the water, the tabling?
for the apron, if we're gonna,
For the apron, we're just gonna do the water right now. We're just gonna table the water. Then we're gonna go back to the apron and vote on that.
Okay.
So, all in favor of tabling the discussion on the water spigot? Okay, that's across the board in favor, no dissension, all right. So now we'll go to the apron and, I will,
You don't
so,
need to do it.
so you can have a seat, please. 'cause
Great,
we-
thank you.
And we'll open up at 7:02 for public comment on the asphalt apron. Keep forgetting that. Deet, 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 deet.
seeing none.
Well, I hate to, I'd like to at least like pretend we're giving it a time
Give
for
it a
the
minute.
people to make up their mind in the back. Perhaps they want to rush forward or something. Should I or shouldn't I?
Don't all rush at once.
Okay, seeing none, it's 7:03. We will close the public comment. Now, I guess, well, the staff, you have anything you want to add about the asphalt, other than what you've already said?
They have one application, and I think that we need to table it as one application and not separate out the individual parts.
No,
just already said
I don't,
broken down.
unless, it's okay. Unless there's a legal reason for doing that, I mean, it's,
There's one application that they submitted, and we posted it for the apron, and it has only been for the apron. There are
Okay.
I think that
so that's what we're gonna pass.
the correct way to do this would be to table that, if we're gonna table it for the apron,
No,
we're gonna
no.
table it.
No, we're not we didn't table it for the apron.
Okay, so then the applicant is gonna need to submit another application for just the water spigot.
That's fine, you're all
And-
set,
And we
you're
will
all
just
set.
approve, or the board can make their decision on just the apron.
That's correct.
Okay.
The applicant indicated that he would be more than happy to put another application in for this picket. That's a matter of record. It's even been filmed. So, okay, so any more discussion, Gail? Any more discussion on the asphalt
No, like I
apron?
said, the Conservation Commission is wholly supportive of the apron, in the specifications that are listed here. And it was our unanimous opinion, it is in the best interest of the city to pave that apron.
As the city as the director indicated.
Yep.
All right, any other discussion on that? This is only on the apron. I'll entertain a motion. Gail?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve, this is tough because I need
It's
to put the.
PL, it's right there at 6.1, it only
Okay,
mentions the
well, I'll
apron.
approve that yeah, I can read it, I'm just saying, I don't want to make sure we're not approving the entire.
No, no,
application.
you're not.
I make a motion that we approve PL 2019, I believe,
Yep,
dash 0135, conditional use permit. So that we are approving a portion of this which is to pave the apron portion of the street to a deep depth of 16, a street with a width of 38 feet to 21 feet, it's kind of a rhombus, and 16 feet to the interior? Or is that 16 feet or 16?
It's okay, you get, it's all good. You got,
Okay, 16,
21 feet across the interior.
yeah, the application, it's got the, in the. numbers,
okay.
yeah.
I also include in that motion that should we, we're asking, clearly asking Mr. Holmesy to submit a separate application for the water portion.
that-
Okay, all right, well, just, I have another motion then after this. Then I make a motion that we approve the apron as presented.
As presented, okay. Is there a second to that?
A second.
Okay, seconded by Mike. Any more discussion? All in favor? Across the board. Thank you all very much. Okay, Gail, I don't know that,
My second motion was only as if we ask Mr. Holmesy to come back and reapply for the water in a separate application, that we waive the application fees,
I
because
don't-
that's not fair to him.
We can discuss that with the applicant and the planning department.
Okay, all
I
right,
don't think we need a motion for that.
all right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Evan. Have a nice night.
That was tough, okay.
I thought it was gonna be easy.
All right. So now are we gonna discuss number 9, Rob? Rob? On the presentations, number 9,
Yes, I
they're here
will.
for that.
That's my ass, that's my water bill.
So we're gonna do,
Does everybody have a copy of the,
yes.
pass that around just in case people don't have it.
Okay, so this is on the
I'll have it.
this is on the presentations.
Anyone need one? Pass those down. I have
This
one.
is,
Down, Bruce?
No, I don't. Thanks.
this is on the presentations. This is, discussion of the possible rezoning of the RR1 zone southeast of Old Prescott Hill Road. And I guess, Rob, you gonna do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
So tonight, I'd like to discuss a
Wait,
part.
wait a second. You guys all set over there?
Yeah, we're cutting our act together, we really are,
Sorry.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
All right,
Don't believe her.
so tonight I'd just like to discuss a partial rezone in the RR1 district along Old Prescott Hill Road, spanning down to Province Road, and a portion of the industrial zone that is between Darky Brook and Old Prescott Hill. Over time, this area has steadily developed, especially with the now newly completed 55 units within the industrial area known as
Rob,
Lilac
could you
Valley.
get into the mic a little better so we can hear
sorry.
you, please?
Known as what?
Lilac Valley. So just to emphasize, that it's a new 55-unit development within the industrial area. As people flow into our community traveling from 106, we see that the gateway is being developed within the town of Belmont by a variety of uses, such as medical and dental facilities, a gas station, utility providers, self-storage units, and an auto dealer. As we move into Laconia, we are met by our community college, and then quickly move into our urban commercial district. As we look at this area directly surrounding Old Prescott Hill Road, we can see that it has become less rural residential and more of a denser residential use, which is why we are proposing this change tonight to residential apartment zone. This proposed change not only more accurately reflects the current changes in our community, but is in line with our 2018 master plan and the redevelopment of areas around 106 and 107. This proposal will also correct some of the non-conforming uses or issues surrounding Old Prescott Hill, such as Lilac Valley, being in an industrial zone. We hope that this change will continue to promote growth within our community and better serve our residents.
Is there a way you could, do you have that written out?
Yeah, I do.
If there's something you could pass around so we have that to refer
Sure.
to? Next, you have one for everybody, I guess is what I'm asking. Is that something you could do, though? to
Yeah, I can
either-
email that out.
Thank you.
So, in short, we're looking to rezone all of the area of Old Prescott Hill all the way down to Province Road in the area that is now Lilac Valley that's right now zoned industrial. So this rezone would make everything RA.
Is that the yellow?
Yep, that's that orange bit. And the RA actually ends just across 106, abutting Old Prescott Hill Road.
Mr. Moore, can you give me a couple landmarks here? I think I know what I'm looking at. I mean, is this
So
gray shaded area, is that the community
the
college?
gray shaded area is the industrial area down on 107, where Del Gilbert and
Gilbert Block?
and a few
Okay,
other
got
areas
it.
are,
Okay,
and-
so that's 107.
That's
Yep.
State 107, and,
Okay.
and State 106 is the bigger one over here with the little,
With that
Road
little
offshoot in.
turnaround there?
Yeah, and you
That's
see that little
106.
cul-de-sac there? That's
Cul-de-sac.
Applegate, what,
Apple
Applegate?
Ridge.
Apple Ridge.
That's
And
106.
and
if
Okay.
you see,
the other one is Prescott Road there.
Prescott Hill, okay.
lot 4.1 there is the Applegate Apartments back there. And then you have lot 5, which is the community college. And all these lots along 106 on the Old Prescott Hillside are all single families that have been there for quite some time. And then you
So
have.
the proposal is to rezone the orange shaded area?
Correct. So all of that light area that is now rural residential would be residential apartment.
The orange area.
Yep.
Where is the
I must be
lilac?
colorblind, because
Yellow.
It's
The
yellow.
lilac, so
Yellow? Okay.
He's colorblind.
I was like
the
freaking
Lilac
out.
Valley
To me.
is right here. It goes all the way down in that industrial area. And it's separated from 107 side by Durkey Brook. That's the boundary line for the district.
Could I just ask, for future, if you put road names in and stuff, I could get started a little earlier in the conversation.
You got it. I will make that note for next time I do this.
I thank you for taking my comments away.
Oh, all right.
Is this something that eventually will end up in front of the city council?
Yes. So if the board would be in favor of this, we would schedule it for a public hearing for next month. And then we would give everybody the opportunity and the residents an opportunity to come in and voice their opinion. And then pending that conversation, you could make that determination if you wanted to send that on to city council for adoption.
Because they have the final say. And have you,
They would also have a public hearing.
right, oh, good. Very good. And have you heard much from public comment up there at all on this? Has this gone around the neighborhood a little bit?
I don't know
or-
if this has gone around the neighborhood. I don't know how much Kathy socialized this and how much Kirk has socialized this. I do know that we have somebody that is in the audience that might have an interest, because I think they might be a property owner
Okay.
in some of those, for a couple parcels there.
But bottom line, if you can just wrap up in a couple lines, the benefit of doing this, really right to the point.
So the benefit is this would be in line with our master plan. It would fix some non-conforming issues we have, such as all of Lilac Valley being an industrial area. And it would fix any non-conformities with setbacks and whatnot that are already present with those single-family houses along 106.
And if I live up there, I'm gonna like this because,
It really shouldn't affect too many people.
but
I
it, but
don't
it,
know
but in
whether
a good
it's-
way.
I think
Or
it's
not.
going to add to what's already going on there.
But will
But
it
it's
give me,
going to, on our side, it's going to protect us from self-storage units going in there.
that's what I wanna hear. What protection is it gonna increase for
We
the
are now
neighborhood?
locking this into residential.
That's the big thing, so, all right.
My only question is to Rob, is, to the best of your knowledge with this new line, are there any existing industrial uses within that yellow spot?
Nope.
Okay, and nothing in the hopper that somebody applied for in good faith that
Nope.
we haven't gotten to?
Well, the thing is, Gail, if it's been applied for, then they're in. You can't
No, I
take,
understand that,
So
I'm
it
just
wouldn't- it
curious.
wouldn't
I
matter,
just
yeah,
want to
okay.
know.
Nope, but there's no applications that anybody submitted.
And
that
there's
this would
nothing
benefit-
industrial, I mean, what will be the new yellow
Nope,
zone?
that whole area that's industrial that's changing is all residential use in there. And that was all prior to the zone to make that industrial.
Okay, all right.
So that's just correcting that mistake when that happened.
Rob, we approved apartments up in the old Gilbert Block sand pit. Was it already, we didn't change the zoning for that?
No,
one, huh?
that is zoned,
isn't that in the green?
Residential.
That's the dark
I
gray,
think that's
right?
residential
Yeah.
general right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So
this
that
part,
didn't
that's
require,
over
that,
here.
there was no zoning changes that were needed with that.
Okay.
not this.
And I believe they went to the zoning board and they got a variance for density for that one.
Oh, we did,
Yeah.
yes. I do remember that. Hey, Rob, what is the difference, just so we know, between the difference
Gail?
between residential
Gail,
general,
can you
residential? A?
speak into the mic so they can hear you?
Could you explain to anyone who may
towards
be
you.
interested in the difference between residential general and residential A, and why you chose the designation you chose?
I chose the designation because we're just continuing that use from Lakes Region Community College across the road, all the way across. The differences between residential general and apartment are probably, is density.
Okay, all right,
So you're getting 9 units per acre as opposed to 6 units per acre.
okay, that's helpful, thank you.
All right, Rob, anything else?
That is all I have, but if the people that are present are so inclined to,
I'm going to ask them that, so thank you.
thank you, sir.
Would either of you like to approach the mic up here? And state your name and address.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ethan Wood with Normandin, Cheney and O'Neill on Union Ave. I'm here on behalf of my client, Kevin Morissette, who is a property owner on Old Prescott Hill Road. In fact, the property that he owns is probably one of the last undeveloped parcels there. And he is very much in favor of this. We think that the city's plan here is a great idea. I think, as Rob has expressed to you, it does correct some of the issues that currently exist in the zone, especially where almost all of the lots along Old Prescott Hill Road are currently non-conforming in that zone, and this would make them conforming. In addition, it does provide for increased density in an area that would support it. So generally speaking, my client's in favor of it, recommends that the board adopts the city's suggestion and moves it to the city council for vote. I'm happy to answer any questions you
Going
may
to
have.
thank you. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question for Rob.
Yes, sir.
On the new layout, Durkey Brook is listed as the delineator between?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
And I'm assuming that that's the current lot line anyway?
it
Okay.
sure is. Yep.
He kind of snuck that in. I want to thank you for, both of you for coming in, that's all.
It's our pleasure.
Any other questions for staff on this? Any commentary?
I think it's a good idea, and we ought to move it to public hearing.
I would agree.
It's long overdue, let's put it that way.
So the powerhouse at the table, Counselor Cheney has shaken his head in approval. That carries the night.
I don't know about that, but I'll argue in front of the
Still
council.
gotta do his heavy lifting on his side.
I'll be happy to argue with the council. I don't think it'll be an argument, to be
No.
perfectly frank with you.
I
think this
I
should
don't,
go through like a hot knife through butter.
well, that would be a pleasure. Okay, do we need to make a motion on this?
You sure do.
Okay.
You need to make, if the board so chooses, they would need to make a motion to schedule a public hearing for next month.
Next month.
Yeah, I'll make that motion, that we make a motion to schedule this particular change to public hearing at next meeting.
Okay, is there a second for that? Amy, that was seconded by Amy. All in favor? Across the board again. I may never have to vote my entire term here.
Yeah, don't count on it, Charlie, don't jinx yourself.
We'll set them up next time.
Great, thanks. Again, thank you both for coming in. It's always good to hear from the public, our constituents. Okay. Okay, so next we have new business. Does anybody have any new business besides me?
I have a board
Okay.
update from conservation.
We'll get to that, we'll get
Yeah,
to
when
that.
we get to that, yeah.
We'll get to that, thank you. So the new business is, which I bitterly complained to our director, how he stole somebody off our planning board here to put in his office for his advantages. But in any event, I'll let you make that announcement.
Don't we have a no-compete clause?
No, we don't, unfortunately.
But anyway, go ahead, Rob.
So, Mr. Carmichael did resign from the planning board, as I offered him the position for assistant planner, which he accepted. So he'll be starting February 20th. We're very excited. I think he's got a lot to offer us. And he is very passionate about helping us move the master plan forward. And I think that he will be a great asset for that.
Well, I guess from my perspective, is the main thing is to, which it has been right along for the most part, the planning department to move along and, you know, and work with everybody that comes in and just do what needs to be done, so that's good. And, you know, lift a little bit of the load off you for everything you have to do as director.
I do have to thank Scott here. There is nobody downstairs in that basement that works harder than this gentleman right here, making sure everything gets done. So I just want to point that out, that he
Well
is
done, Scott.
an incredible
Dry your
asset
eyes.
to us.
His speech.
You know, you notice I didn't clap because he runs interference for Rob against me, and I can't sneak in, I have to go through him. Yeah, here we go. No, I couldn't agree more with that statement, so thank you. Okay, any old business? Any correspondence? Do you have any, was that your planning department report, or do you have anything
Well,
else?
actually, if I could just say
Sure.
a couple other things. So, the board did want me to do some research on sidewalks. I have not had time to dive into sidewalks yet. I talked to Wes briefly, but I would like to have a little bit of time to develop a report for you for sidewalks. And I feel like I might not have time at this next planning board meeting, but if we could make it to,
April?
April, I would love to do a presentation on sidewalks.
That'd be
If
great.
the board would be all right with that.
Can we get him to also include traffic lights in that? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I would, if I may, just request that your report include how this board might proceed by, to setting up a sidewalk fund, as Mr. Dellavecchia had suggested at one point, where sidewalks are not practical or feasible. We do run into that occasionally, where we could establish a fund instead where it could be used towards sidewalks that are needed or need to be repaired or maintained. Can you look into that, how we would
I
proceed?
absolutely
I know
will.
it'll probably end up with, at a council at
You
some
can-
point.
You can
but-
guarantee that.
Yeah, but, you know, how would we proceed to present that?
Absolutely. And I just wanted to tell the board that there has not been any movement on the master plan and probably over a year. That is a goal that we are looking to remedy or priority. And that will be something that I will be reaching out to you shortly on about starting the master plan steering committee going again. And making sure that we have the right members appointed to that committee so we can start moving things forward.
And nothing on the state school, I suppose? No?
I have not heard any
That's
forward
it?
momentum yet.
That's enough. Okay.
We're in February, remember, that's
Yeah,
the
well,
month it's supposed to happen.
that's why I brought it up, Counselor.
If I might just add, I would really appreciate if you, unlike one of your predecessors, be careful about waiving fees and
I 100% agree, Counselor.
at least if you're feeling strongly about it, would you please come to us and let us know, rather than it just being a foregone conclusion and,
I absolutely will, sir.
Okay.
I absolutely will.
Okay, so we'll go to liaison reports. So now, Lakes Region Planning Commission, anybody here for that?
I have not received any correspondence about any upcoming meetings, so I don't have a report at this time.
So, we are a couple positions short, so I'm working with the city manager now to get those positions filled. I don't know if you've actually been appointed yet by the city appointments committee. I think,
I didn't know that was the requirement, but,
I
yeah.
think the city manager was working on routing all those things through.
Okay,
So that's probably why you're not getting correspondence.
okay.
But I will re-engage and I'll see where everything's at.
Perfect.
It's been a busy couple weeks,
Sure.
but we'll get there.
Okay, conservation.
Other than the apron, there's a couple of things Conservation has been working on. One of those is, one of those is a lot on upper portion of Lafayette Street, which is a city-owned piece of property that was previously used as a staging ground for the Highland Street paving. I believe, I don't know how the title reads, but either the Water Department owns this piece of property or the City of Laconia, one or the other, or both. The Conservation Commission is likely to make a recommendation that this lot and other lots to be identified in the future be separated out and put into separate conservation easements because of the existence of a vernal pool. On this particular lot, I think that bears more investigation. It's a very big lot. It may even be a double or a triple lot. Part of it is wet, wouldn't be built on it anyway. By either board, certainly not the zoning board wouldn't allow that, and I sat on that board for a lot of years. And I need to have some sense at some point of a recommendation of the planning board, what to bring back to them about this particular recommendation that they've made.
Okay. Anything else? Is that it? City council.
Oh, yes. I'm not aware of any specific issues, other than we're thrilled Rob's back. Things are, relatively speaking, quiet at the moment, so I'm not aware of any planning issues that have been before the council recently.
Okay, thank you. And
Yeah.
on the
No, yeah, and I understand, but we do have some issues to deal with, but they're not related to planning at the moment.
what's that, Gail?
I have just one other thing, but it's not conservation.
Oh, then hold off.
Okay.
All right, on the Historical District Commission, we're still waiting to hear something from the ordinance committee, and I've spoken to Councilor Hayes about that, and we're just waiting now, so hopefully that's gonna be this year.
He is trying to schedule meetings.
Yeah.
I have emails requesting dates to schedule meetings.
I've seen some email traffic go back and forth with the city manager. I think there's some effort being made to
Get that going.
get some of these things working, so.
Wonderful. Okay, other business, Gail, you had something?
Yeah, and this is kind of up your alley, Charlie. So I don't know if you have a specific liaison or not. I late minute sent you a text message that had a link to it, and I don't know if you got a chance to review it. This is a session of the House,
That's correct.
and there are a lot of bills addressing housing in that. And I think that, I know, Rob, you're here, you're still short-staffed. I don't mind helping out with that or working with you, Charlie. I would like to have a periodic update to the planning board on what exactly they are doing down there in terms of what it could affect with the city of Laconia. One specific one is there's a number of bills down there addressing accessory dwelling units, which is something that this board dealt with about 2 years ago, passed an ordinance. It was tabled at city council. I don't know what's happened to that. But with that being said, these things are going to be done for us at the state level, and it would be incumbent upon the city to be a little more proactive about that. And I don't know if you want,
We'll have to find out what committee that's on.
it's all going through County and Municipal Affairs.
Municipal Affairs. And
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't know if we have any of our current state reps in this district on that committee.
That's why I ran,
So-
but no, I'd lost by a
There's not.
vote, and I'm not on that committee.
All right, what I can do, normally the city manager watches that stuff out of his office, so I'll stop by and ask him to give me an update to see what the city's concerned about on that, and then we can go forward from there looking at that stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, there's just a lot of things that they're doing, most of it to address the housing
Yeah,
situation.
you sent me the link for it. I haven't had a chance to read
It's a
through
link to a
everything.
newspaper article, which isn't exactly the perfect source, but there were a number of bills, 4 or 5, that were highlighted by that newspaper article alone, of a multitude of bills down there. You're right, many of which will go nowhere. But some of them are gonna get legs. I can tell you the accessory dwelling unit one will.
Again, I'll reach out to Kirk, try to stop by and see him tomorrow. So if, usually the municipality people are watching all these different bills, and normally they would reach out, or the city or town would reach out to their representatives and say, hey, here's what we're thinking about this, and we want you to either support it or not support it. So I'll see what I can do to get that, because I'll be right up front, for me to pay attention to all the bills.
I understand. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that,
But I want people to understand that. We have some great bills, though. There's no doubt about it. Okay,
You see the article in the Daily Sun today? They're gonna
No.
put people in tool sheds?
I'm sorry?
They're gonna put people in tool sheds.
oh, be careful what you say. It's
Pallet
very
Village.
likely that's gonna land in front of your committee shortly.
Pallet Village.
Pallet Village, well, yes, and we could talk about our state militia, soon-to-be city militia, and, you know, all the other crazy bills down there. Yes, I get that. Well, thank you, Gail, for bringing it up, because now it's on my radar, and I'll push that along. Any other business? This is indeed a miracle. This is what we live for, 7:31. We're gonna ask for a motion to adjourn. Okay? All in favor? Thank you all, and good night, and good luck.
Well, I have a phone number, contact info for you.
Oh. Boy.
Tool shed village, it didn't say if they ever had